Vocal Fusion winner to walk away with new Toyota Sixth Element. Investigations reveal 10 Chinese killed in Manus. And Kumuls rock the Rugby League World Cup.
This is National EMTV News with Marilyn Diao-Katam.
Good evening and thank you for joining me with Sunday's news. After over 16 weeks of vocal competition, tonight is the moment everyone has been waiting for. The grand final of MTV's Vocal Fusion Season 5. The winner will walk away with keys to a brand new Toyota Sixth Element. Tonight's guest judge is Australian sensation Lavinia Williams.
Our hosts for this evening, Jacob Beloved and Karen Drimmer.
Season after season, MTV's Vocal Fusion has raised the bar in the local singing competition, showcasing raw talents from all around the country. Tonight we'll see another grand final winner of the famous talent competition. After over 16 weeks of vocal competition, it has now come down to the final four of MTV's Vocal Fusion Season 5. They are Anna Tupo Morave from Alatau, Joe Dow from Kimbe, Francisca Talin-Ganaram from Leh, and duo Raylinda and Sarah Mura from Mount Hagen. And in Vocal Fusion history, the Mura sisters are the first duo to reach this far in the singing competition. Auditions were from 5 centres: Wewak, Mount Hagen, Kimbe, Leh and Port Moresby. And for the first time, aspiring vocal singers were given the opportunity to audition online. Tonight's grand final winner will walk away with keys to a brand new Toyota Sixth Element, new generation 4x4 double cab, while the first runner-up will receive 20,000 kina. Second runner-up 10,000 kina and 5,000 kina for the third runner-up. Passengers on PNG Air's flight will be treated into live media entertainment provided by various stars from MTV's Vocal Fusion. Chief Commercial Officer Paul Albert says they are working closely with MTV to bring the spirit of Christmas to customers. This is a change for Inflight Entertainment.
This is the second year which PNG Air is providing live in-flight entertainment on selected domestic flights. Mr. Abbott said the in-flight entertainment is on time with the festive season, featuring yet again various stars from MTV's Vocal Fusion. It was deliberately noted last year passengers were happy and thanked the airline company for introducing a new way of entertainment.
Yeah, the Inflight Entertainment program we did last year was very well received by our travelling public, and we're working with our friends at MTV at the moment to get the next lot of finalists from the Vocal Fusion Awards.
The Vocal Fusion Grand Finale is tonight at the Cosmopolitan in Port Moresby. Mr. Abbott says they are waiting for another 2 singers to join the In-Flight Entertainment program.
Monday we'll have an additional 2 sorted out as well, so that we can once again have some in-flight entertainment on the services leading up into the Christmas period.
This initiative has so far been enjoyed by passengers who said it's the first of its kind. Vocal Fusion stars have been singing some hit songs, both local and international, including Christmas carols. Fabian Hakelitz, National EMTV News.
Landowners of the Kutubu Oil and Gas Project have raised concerns after the LNG project stopped paying their royalties in 2013. Some angry landowners told the media that the decision to stop and was never discussed with individual owners who own massive hectares of land used for development. This came into effect after one of the Land Association members filed a court order for MRDC in 2013 to stop beneficiaries to landowners. This has so far affected 116 associations who are calling for the case to be withdrawn in the next 14 days or else they'll stage a peaceful protest on site.
I need to law calling you depriving rights from the loan, livelihood bring me. Or basic needs now, or something bring me the line of place. You deprive rights from the local something. Time you stop into Kagabunda. You may come up on end of the year now, people are finding hard work or school fee, now beginning people to like housing in order something. For the last couple of years, you may miss out over the benefits from that.
Now, Milo Moran, me, he got 5% long cash project Milagim department MRTC must put in one bla sata lo mibla ko anda preventing program must go ahead na mibla by kissing benefit law case project.
Mila call on collaboration on additional government through MRTC, Department of Health Management, now setting on the date when we can have him the Kutubu review. Kutubu review, I'm almost 2 years ago finished. That is like all in-house issues when we like at him one reason in jail Kutubu Pidol 2. We need to discuss in this total time to review.
I contributed 8 wellheads, 12 kilometers of pipeline, gas and oil. I did not even give consent to Sagaki to take or represent all of us to get this order, to restrain and stop payment for PDL2 learners, including the voice, 10% of voice, and FASUS, as well as Moran and Sadis Mananda. We are again MRDC, Department of Petroleum Energy. If Kumul Holdings will come in, then we are asking them to pay what is for PDL2.
Cases of election petitions continue at the Court of Disputed Returns in Port Moresby. On Friday, another 9 cases went before Justice Colin McKyle, which included motion hearings for former Korobo Lake Kopiago MP Francis Potape against sitting MP Philip Indialu and also Simon Solo against Sundown Governor Tony Wawau. Also, the pre-trial conferences for former Namatanai MP Byron Chen against sitting MP Walter Schnobelt. More stories when we come back. Stay with us. Welcome back. 6 students from the Sugeri National High School in the Central Province will be doing a presentation on karate and tsunami awareness this Tuesday. The students who visited Japan recently were witnesses to karate demonstration by karate masters and participants of the High School Student Summit on World Tsunami Awareness in Japan. Japanese Ambassador to PNG Satoshi Nakajima is expected to attend this event. This is one of the many events the Japanese government engages in because of the 2 countries' history and culture. Police are treating the death of 10 Chinese nationals allegedly killed in a fire in Lorengau as a homicide case. Initial police reports stated the 10 dead from the fire which started on the morning of September 24th inside the Splendid Start supermarket, which quickly spread to the bedroom of the 10 Chinese. However, investigations revealed they were killed before the fire burnt their bodies.
The 10 Chinese nationals were owners of Splendid Star Supermarket, one of the main shopping centers in Manus province. Initially, when the fire occurred, their deaths were seen as an accident. But upon further investigations by forensic science officers from Port Moresby, the investigations revealed that it was not an accident. Findings from the investigations suggest that the 10 Chinese may have been murdered before the entire shop set on fire. Manus Police Commander Chief Inspector David Yapu is yet to release an official comment on the findings. However, PPC Yapu has described the incident in September as one of the worst fire disasters in the province. The bodies of the 10 Chinese were brought to Port Moresby last week, 2 months after the fire occurred. Of the 10, 6 were females, while the other 4 males. Manus province continues to lack fire services, and a call has been made to the provincial government to establish a fire station. Thekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
We'll have stories making headlines overseas when we come back. Stay with us. The border of the United States in Mexico, a door of hope swings open just for a few minutes, giving 12 families separated by a fence an emotional reunion. Relatives clung onto each other, seeing family members for the first time in years. Many of the U.S. side are undocumented immigrants. If they have to visit Mexico, they may have trouble returning to the U.S.
Open just for a few minutes, giving 12 families separated by a fence an emotional reunion, visa-free. Relatives clung to each other, seeing family members for the first time in years. Many on the U.S. side are undocumented immigrants. If they were to visit Mexico, they may have trouble returning back to the U.S. So the advocacy group Border Angels organized the event with U.S. Customs and Border Control.
We're very happy and grateful that for the 6th time, Border Patrol officers have given us permission to open up the Gate of Hope so that 12 families could cross. And in many cases, there were grandparents meeting their grandchildren for the first time. It was 12 families. We've never had that many before.
Almost half of Puerto Rico is still out of electricity almost 2 months after Hurricane Maria. The head of the island's power authority has stepped down because he is being investigated for approving a costly contract to restore service. Meanwhile, Puerto Ricans are getting used to this new reality of having less food to buy.
At first sight, it looks like a well-stocked supermarket doing brisk business. And then you notice people only buy enough food for a day or two.
So how has the way in which you buy at the supermarket changed since the hurricane?
Well, basically you have to buy less ingredients, less quantity, because if the power goes out, then you don't want to lose 75% of what you purchased.
It's been 2 months since Puerto Rico was ravaged by Hurricane Maria. About half the island remains without power. Those with no refrigeration have had to adapt.
Stuff like milk and meat and eggs, I buy less quantity and more of stuff that's canned.
Supermarkets have also been forced to adapt. Just take a look at this frozen goods section in this San Juan supermarket. Shelves are empty most of the time.
So the problem is not that the suppliers are not being able to deliver. The problem is that people are not buying these things.
People are not buying this stuff.
How does this compare to what you had before?
Yeah, I'm only selling 2%.
But there's also a distribution problem. A shortage of canned goods means this store has to ration.
We used to have 10 brands, and we only virtually have 4 brands of corned beef.
10 brands of corned beef before and only 2 now?
4 now.
They used to carry 20 different kinds of soft drinks. Now they have 3. For Ana Josefina Perez, the hurricane revealed something that is hard to admit.
Living in a country that actually goes through hurricanes, not as often as we could, obviously. It's very sad to see that we're not prepared. I mean, whether it's the government or people in general.
A hard lesson she hopes the island has learned as Puerto Rico slowly tries to recover from its worst natural disaster in decades.
New Zealanders of Maori and Dutch heritage celebrated together today with the opening of a new museum and community centre in a small North Island town of Foxton. It's called Te Awaiho New Astrom, which means the new stream in both Te Reo and Dutch.
The mingling of 2 cultures at a gathering in the small town of Foxton to celebrate Dutch and Maori heritage. The centre's the brainchild of local iwi and New Zealand's Dutch community. Representatives from both turning out in force, tour buses bringing in Dutch Kiwis and tourists, Dutch news media there too.
Everybody has acquaintances, friends, family members even who are Dutch. But they all sort of integrated and disappeared in the wider nation of New Zealand.
The centre cost $8.5 million to construct. It's hoped it will boost tourist numbers and the local economy. Regional Development Minister Shane Jones says it's positive to see investment in small towns, and he says the museum's an excellent way to showcase New Zealand's culture.
As modern Kiwis, don't ever forget the foundation influences that made the country we take for granted. And it's something that needs to be looked at in the context of moving the immigration debate forward.
The Maori Museum and Gallery offers stories, art and taonga from the local iwi, Ngāti Raukawa ki te taonga, while the Dutch section holds stories and items from migrants from the Netherlands.
I'm just hugely appreciative of everybody that's been involved because this is the biggest day in Foxton that we've had for years.
and it's hoped the museum will serve Foxton and its cultures for years to come.
Qantas has unveiled its new flight simulator for the Boeing Dreamliner. The flying kangaroo took delivery of the super long-haul plane last month.
It's the $23 million simulator for the brand new Qantas 787-9. Now, the trainer will prepare pilots to fly an aircraft designed to use less fuel and fly longer distances. It's like a giant video game. Pilots will spend up to 50 hours in the trainer before they can take control of the real thing. It comes ahead of Qantas launching a new service in March from Perth to London, one of the world's longest routes.
The plane flies a long way. It flies, opens up new routes potentially for us. It does it at a very economical fuel burn and does it with a lot of passenger comfort.
The New South Wales government has contributed $2.5 million towards the simulator to boost business investment. Now today, the Premier Gladys Berejiklian had a turn in the pilot's seat, guiding the simulator over Sydney and then landing at the airport.
It was actually quite smooth. I felt quite at ease and had great guidance.
170 pilots are being recruited for the 787-9. The simulator replicates normal flying conditions but also spends much of its time dealing with emergency scenarios like losing an engine, and it's very busy. It operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Trucko Sports is next. Don't go away.
Trucko Sports.
Welcome to Trucko Sports. Two fighters will be representing Papua New Guinea in the upcoming World Karate Championships in Okinawa, Japan. PNG Karate Do Federation President Carl Murray is adamant the championship will seek to find out PNG's ranking in the world.
Federation President Carl Murray says this will be the first time PNG will participate at the World Championships alongside Australia, New Zealand and Fiji representing the Oceania region. He says the only athlete to represent PNG in the past at the world stage is Crystal Murray.
We are privileged to have been supported by the PNG Olympic Committee to send two of our top athletes. In fact, the four of them are our elite athletes, but we have only selected Nigel Bana and Quinton Bogan to participate in what WKF or World Karate Federation called the Karate One tournament. The Karate One tournament is competed throughout the year in various countries, and it's basically it's a tournament where all top athletes throughout the world participate. That's apart from the World Championships. So we are fortunate to have these two guys go to the home of karate, where karate actually started in Okinawa.
Murray thanked PNG Olympic Committee for their support in arranging the trip for Nigel and Quinton. His advice to the two athletes is to do well and stay focused.
Okay, the advantage is basically to get their world ranking. Currently, the only PNG karate athlete that is ranked under the World Karate ranking is Crystal Murray. And she's the only one. So to have these two get into this tournament and actually earn some ranking will actually be beneficial to karate, to basically, in PNG, to basically bring our standing up from the performance of the athletes, but more so for these two, if they can secure enough points and going forward, if they can secure some more from the Oceania next year and other events that they participate in, they can be able to qualify for the Olympics in 2020.
Nigel and Quinton will join Crystal and Cosmas on their return from Okinawa, Japan, just in time for the Mini Pacific Games in December. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports. To
Rugby League World Cup, and fresh from the victory over Lebanon in Christchurch, Tonga arrived into Auckland this afternoon where no fans were in sight. The team travelled behind police escort. But the Rugby League upset wasn't enough. The All Blacks have come close to suffering the first ever loss to Scotland. In the end, the All Blacks won 22-17, but discipline was again a key concern. Overall, the passionate Scots missed a few opportunities. New Zealand struck when needed.
If the Scots needed any extra motivation, the sight of one of their greats, Doddy Ware, pre-match certainly worked. Ware, who has motor neurone disease, presented the match ball. In a fitting tribute, the Flying Scots had the early clear-cut chances. On the other hand, the All Blacks barely entered the Scottish 22 in the first spell. They initially looked off-key. Once tempo was found, unlike the Scots, they did take their chances.
Here's Ioane in a bit of space. And it goes to Taylor!
All of a sudden, the hammer went down. A line-out drive saw Sonny Bill's new kicking game come out again.
And the try scored by Damien McKenzie.
15-3 up, it looked like the obligatory Scottish gates would open. But the All Blacks' ill-discipline returned under pressure, conceding nearly 20 penalties, 2 yellow cards and points when down a man.
Now here's Gray. Gray stretches out.
While some All Black areas looked shaky, the scrum again helped launch them clear.
Williams got it away beautifully to McKenzie. He links up with Bowden Barrett. Oh, that's magnificent.
So was Sonny Bill's signature offload. A second yellow for more infringing, and the Scots in their newfound attack laid on a stunner.
Here's Hogg. Keeps it in cleverly. Seymour! Oh, this is outstanding. Hugh Jones scores.
If it wasn't for Bowden Barrett, the Scots, missing several big names, might have pulled off a famous victory.
Stuart Hogg! Oh, just about got it back in field.
Man of the match Hogg, a pass away from becoming a new Scottish hero. 22-17, yet another All Black skier in what's been a season of ups and downs.
So better disappointment for the poor old Scots. They are sure to be sick and tired of the brave and plucky Ted that still necks around the old neck.
Scottish fought from the first whistle to the final minute.
Proud would be the major emotion. I think the effort and the ability shown by the players throughout the game was outstanding.
While the score wasn't on their side, they sure gave the All Blacks a fright.
Yeah, everyone back home was telling us how they were getting bored with us being dominant. Well, they'll just have to go away and have a cup of tea and think about that.
The All Blacks reflecting on an out-of-sync opening half.
It wasn't a skill thing, it probably were just 5% off, maybe attitudinally, really. And it just made it harder for ourselves.
But the tries did start coming in the second half.
It goes to Taylor!
It's the meat pie, just hanging on the edge, just doing my job.
They played the last 20 minutes with 14 players and still scored. And 14 minutes later, it was Bowden Barrett who thwarted Scotland's last-ditch attempts at a win.
There's one point where I thought I gave him too much on the outside and I was a bit worried, but I was relieved to see that outcome as it was.
It took a special player to stop a special player. I thought Hogg was pretty good tonight.
But it broke the hosts' hearts, who truly believed they were finally on the verge of making history.
Hugely gutted. On the brink of something bloody special, wasn't it? So the boys are devastated with that.
The Scots have left their mark on the ABs, though, ending Luke Romano's Northern tour with a foot injury and possibly star winger Rieko Ioane's too with a shoulder injury, and showing that Northern Hemisphere rugby is to be respected.
When we return, highlights of the Kumuls and England match.
Trucko Sports.
Welcome back, and now we bring you some highlights of the Rugby League World Cup between PNG Kumuls and England in Australia. Unfortunately, Kumuls recorded their first loss of 36-6 after registering 3 consecutive wins since day one.
Against Ireland. Expected to win this. Here's Seguiaro. He's into a space. He's through. Seguiaro. He's got support on his right shoulder. And in they go. On debut. Over they go. Into score. Lachlan Lamb for the Kumuls.
Wow, what a celebration.
Meninga will play it. Seguiaro finds Lamb, now to Mead, looping pass, Olam goes in to score. Olam goes in to score the Kumuls second after 11 minutes of play. High. Oh, they've made a meal of it. It's gone backwards. There's another break, and they're away again, the Kumuls. They're in the space. They've got support on the inside. And here's Seguiaro. Seguiaro, he's going to race away to score. And PNG go in for number 3. Well, this is turning into a cakewalk. 13 minutes old is the match. And the Kumuls lead the Hawks 14 points to 0. Lamb, he's straight through. Lockie Lamb, he sidesteps the fullback.
We apologize for that footage. We'll return after this break.
When you've been collecting league jerseys and memorabilia.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield. With doing with Dulux.
And now looking at the weather forecast for tonight, in the southern region, Port Moresby and Popondetta afternoon showers, Daru squally showers, Kerama showers and thunderstorms, and Alatau few showers.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield. With doing with Dulux.
And to our story earlier, Kumuls has recorded their first loss of 36-6 loss to England in today's match. Here are the highlights.
There's an upset here this afternoon. I can't wait.
Well, I spoke to David Gale. Early trouble for PNG. Mead missed him. Still going Gale.
Beautiful ball movement here from Burgess and O'Loughlin, but look at the way that David Mead, the fullback, just puts his body on the line here, all contact, and gets the shoulder of Luke Gale. Ooh. Right on the chin.
David Mead just got into that unfortunate position 32 metres out. Watson Boas. Testing kick for Widdop. The chase is strong. It's taken by the Kumuls. Coming away with it is Kataotio, but it's been lost. An opportunity for the Kumuls. Changeover. So this is what happened. He came through it, just knocked it onto Gareth Widdop and lost the ball on the way down. Quickly out the back. O'Loughlin to Widdop to Watkins to McGilvery. And England open the scoring. Jermaine McGilvery. His 5th try of the 2017 World Cup. Beautiful slick move to the right. And England score to take a 4-0 lead over PNG. Only halfway through the tackle count. O'Loughlin, Brown. This is trouble. Widdop to Watkins. Oh, what a pass! McGilvery over in the corner for England. They get their 2nd try. Brilliant passing. And Jermaine McGilvery gets his 2nd try of the day, his 6th of the 2017 World Cup. Line again, that's Kurt Baptiste. Walmsley. He might have got there, Alex Walmsley. The big front rower. Adrian Morley.
There it is there. Okay, got a decision going to the board.
England gets its 3rd and lead PNG 12-0. Roby to Widdop. The kick for Curry. It sits up on his chest and England will score. Ben Curry's only been on the field for 5 minutes and he's able to score. Beautifully read by Gareth Widdop. Quick hands by Watson Boas. Aton. Manoga. What a pass away to Gary Lowe. They do score PNG. Gary Lowe finishes it off. The Kumuls are in. Paul to McGilvery. Someone's got to put him down. No, they don't. He's over the 40s away again. Past Armin. Links up with Callum Watkins. From behind McDonald. Misses him. Watkins goes all the way to score. And does that seal a berth for England? Gale. Curry running on the inside. Only 12 metres out. They've been dangerous to the right all day. That's the way they come. Hodgson kicking for McGilvery, looking for a 3rd. Backing up Watkins. He gets his 2nd. Leaps through the air like a Cape Crusader. And
Hodgson, they work it left to Gale. Widdop, past Minoga. Hall, he'll be tough to stop, and he can't be. Ryan Hall has a phenomenal try-scoring success rate for England. England, congratulations to Wayne Bennett and the English team. They've beaten Papua New Guinea rather convincingly in the end, scoring 7 tries to 1 as England defeats Papua New Guinea here in Melbourne 36 points to 6.
Before we go, recapping our main stories for tonight. Vocal Fusion winner to walk away with new Toyota 6th Element. Investigations reveal 10 Chinese killed in Manus died before the fire, and Kumuls record their first loss to England. And that's the news, sports and weather for tonight, Sunday 19th of November 2017. Don't go away, we'll bring you the grand finale of Vocal Fusion Season 5 right after this news. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Merlin Diakatam. Pleasant viewing and good night.